I walked outside the front door. I turned and instantly recognised the building I'd left. It was a modernised version of my nan's old bungalow. I turned back and faced the street, but my gaze was drawn to a colossal tower not far in the distance, standing so high that if it were daytime, it would definitely block the sun at certain angles. The tower had an extended top floor that was almost as long as the building was tall. Out of all the rooms in the whole building, only one of them was lit up. That room was near the very end of the top floor. The window of that room seemed to slide down, almost like a hangar door would on a spaceship. I could see a silhouette darken the centre of the hangar-like window. It was a tall figure, very slender man-like. He also seemed to be wearing a kind of bowler hat. The tall figure started to levitate. The spotlight started shining on my position. That's when I realised this tall man was floating towards my location. I was frozen with fear, and I couldn't think of what to do. The tall man was getting closer. I stepped behind a hedge. I immediately realised I should have just made a run for the front door, but I was paralysed by fear yet again. I could do nothing but watch through a slight gap in the hedge as the tall man floated closer and closer and closer, until he landed softly on the ground I was standing on not 20 seconds earlier. He crouched down to the floor, almost kneeling. He looked up and then started turning his head, his eyes locked with my eyes. I was terrified. I felt the life draining from my body. It was then I snapped out of my trance and spotted the front door behind him. I bolted straight towards him. Fight or flight mode had set in. I got right up to the tall man. Even crouched, his head was still level with mine. I slapped him. Didn't even think about it. I just did it. And while he was stunned, I made a run for the door. I turned as I got to the entrance and locked eyes once more with the tall man, still in his crouched position. He just stayed there, staring at me. He then stood up straight, and he was towering up higher than the door frame. I slammed the door and locked it. At that moment, my friend come in from the living room and asked what's going on. My immediate reply was, "Lock the kitchen door. I'll get the back door in the bedroom." They ran immediately to the kitchen, no questions asked. I opened the door to the bedroom. I could see him, the tall man. He was already opening the back door. His hand crept around the corner as it opened. I saw his face enter the light. At that moment, I quickly moved around the bed and ran at him again. I slapped his face once more and shoved his head out the door. I managed to make him stumble backwards, giving me enough time to close the door and lock it. I moved away, but I watched his shadow approach my door again. He pressed his hand on the window and spoke through the glass. "I'm not here as a threat, more of a warning." Then I woke up. Thank you guys so much for listening, if you did. I hope you enjoyed the story that I dreamt up. There is more to come. Until next time, goodbye.